Hello, future scientists. My name's Kaley, and I'm back again today with another edition of our Future Scientist Storytime. Today we will be revisiting Professor Clark and finding out what he's been up to in Book 4 of the Professor Clark the Science Shark series, Readas Rescue by Scott and Karen Lamberson. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's go ahead and get started. It was a humid and hazy summer morning, and a beautiful hawksbill turtle was swimming slowly. Her jeweled body slipped silently through the tropical turquoise water of the Gulf Stream several miles east of the Jupiter, Florida coastline. As the hawksbill swam, she passed a vast assortment of tropical fish, crustaceans, and a variety of other sea creatures. The turtle even swam right by her favorite food, a sea sponge. She was so distracted that she didn't even notice she was being followed by a seahorse. That brightly colored, curious seahorse was named Holt, and he wanted to investigate why the turtle was swimming so slowly. She seemed to be exhausted and was breathing heavily with labored breaths. Her patterned body also kept bobbing to the ocean surface. Holt determined something had to be terribly wrong with the endangered hawksbill turtle. Holt concluded from her behavior that the magnificent turtle was most likely ill, perhaps from something she ate. Holt also knew that he would have to get her help, so he went to find the best help possible, Professor Clark the Science Shark. Holt didn't have to search for Professor Clark very long. He found him and his sidekick, Ray the remora, nearby on Hope Reef. Both Professor Clark and Ray were visibly upset as they pointed to the trash and marine debris on their cherished reef. "I don't understand how somebody can be so careless. I don't understand it at all," Ray declared with dismay. Professor Clark was also sad and concerned that their beautiful reef was indeed littered with marine debris and covered with algae. Holt knew that it was time to tell Professor Clark about the ailing hawksbill turtle, and he spoke with urgency. "There is a sick sea turtle that needs our help. Please, we must hurry." Ray and Holt clung to Professor Clark's head, and the three friends searched until they saw the struggling turtle ahead. The poor turtle was swimming slowly, but stopped to look at the approaching trio with a look of desperation and fear in her eyes. She tried to lift her head, but she was too weak. "Please don't be afraid," Professor Clark said with compassion. "I'm Professor Clark the Science Shark, and this is Holt the Seahorse and Ray the remora. They are my friends. We are here to help you in any way we can. I promise." The sick turtle replied in a weak voice, almost a whisper, "My name is Reada, and I can't really describe what's wrong with me. I'm having a difficult time eating because I don't have an appetite. I feel really sick. Right now all I want to do is sleep and float to the water's surface. I know that's not right." Professor Clark the Science Shark knew he had to act quickly if his attempts to save Reada would be successful. So the concerned Professor Clark and his friends began desperately searching for some healthy sea sponges, hoping to nourish the sickened sea turtle. But they knew they would need more than just food to save Reada. While he was looking for sea sponges, Professor Clark saw something very familiar to him. It was the special cherished lure that belonged to his human friend Andrew. Professor Clark knew how Andrew loved to fish, so Andrew had to be close by. Suddenly the lure started moving, so Professor Clark followed it. He followed the lure all the way to Andrew's boat. Andrew just happened to be in his boat fishing on Hope Reef, and while he was hoping to catch something to bring home, he couldn't help but think about his friend Professor Clark. Every time he fished on his favorite reef, he daydreamed about swimming with that shark again. As he was reeling in his fishing line, he couldn't help but see the shadowy figure in the water below. Could it be? Andrew couldn't believe his eyes. It certainly looked like his favorite tiger shark, Professor Clark the Science Shark. Andrew acted quickly. He grabbed his snorkel and mask and dove into the aquatic oasis, right beside his favorite shark. Professor Clark recognized Andrew right away and coaxed the young man to follow him in hopes of rescuing Reada. Andrew let his tiger shark friend take the lead as they descended to the troubled coral reef. Andrew was overwhelmed with despair and concern when he saw all the trash, litter, and algae on his favorite fishing spot. It seemed to be everywhere. As Andrew was thinking about possible plans and solutions to help restore Hope Reef, he noticed, out of the corner of his eye, the sick and weakened hawksbill turtle in the distance, trying to stay afloat. "I'm sure this is the reason why Professor Clark wanted me to follow him," Andrew thought to himself. Andrew knew instantly he would have to swim back to his boat and call for help. Back on his boat, Andrew immediately called the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission about the sick hawksbill turtle. They assured Andrew that help would soon be coming from Loggerhead Marine Life Center in Juno Beach. Reada's health continued to decline, so Professor Clark, Ray, and Holt stayed by her side until Andrew returned. "Reada, this is Andrew, my kind human friend. He is here to help you," Professor Clark told Reada with encouragement. Andrew paused for only a split second and then started gently lifting the weakened turtle onto his knees. He felt her gasp and tremble. Andrew reassured Reada that no harm would come to her. "Stay quiet and try to relax. It's going to be all right. I have you," Andrew whispered to her compassionately. It wasn't long before Andrew could see the approaching rescue boat in the distance, and he waved his hand to signal his location. He tried to keep Reada steady while he held onto her slippery shell. As soon as the rescue boat stopped, a very kind and impressive rescue team of scientists took over and relieved Andrew of all his responsibilities concerning the turtle. The scientists loaded Reada onto the boat and thanked Andrew for everything he had done. While Andrew swam back to his boat, he started thinking of plans to restore Holt Reef to its original splendor. Andrew loved to fish and dive, and he had noticed a steady decline in the number of fish and sea creatures that he saw on his favorite reef. He accepted the fact that human carelessness had littered the reef, but was this pollution also affecting the health of the reef? With all these concerns on his mind, Andrew knew that he would return the next day with family and friends to help clean up Holt Reef. Andrew knew that no matter what, he had to be successful. Early the next morning, Andrew returned to Holt Reef. His family and friends were saddened to see the enormous amount of marine debris and algae, but their concerns quickly turned to enthusiasm. Everyone went right to work putting pound after pound of trash into mesh bags. They filled bag after bag with all kinds of plastics, glass bottles, aluminum cans and containers, old fishing lines, anchors, ropes, and other human debris. Everyone was careful not to disturb the delicate coral as they worked. They made sure that all of the fishing line was cut away from the fragile ocean coral and the beautiful sea fans. The volunteers worked all day long until the reef once again looked pristine and vibrant. Everyone was exhausted, but they were exhilarated. Andrew suggested that his family and friends should relax and hang out in the water with Professor Clark for a while, so that is just what they did. A couple of considerate and extremely dedicated volunteers from Loggerhead Marine Life Center sorted the aluminum cans, glass, and plastics into recyclable bags. Weeks went by, and Andrew swam with Professor Clark, Ray, and Holt on Hope Beach whenever he could. Everyone enjoyed swimming in the reef's cleaner and healthier environment, but they were saddened by Reada's absence. One sunny day, when Andrew was swimming with his friends on the reef, Ray noticed something slowly approaching them. A few minutes later, they all saw it was Reada. She glided over the coral reef through the beautiful blue water. Reada was gleaming and looked fantastic. "Reada," they all cried out. "We can't believe it's really you!" Professor Clark shouted, "Andrew's family and friends cleaned up Holt Reef so you won't get sick again. Please stay and make this your permanent home. We can't wait to hear all about your stay at Loggerhead Marine Life Center." Reada told them about her exciting journey to Loggerhead Marine Life Center in Juno Beach, Florida. "The human doctors and staff were so wonderful. They gave me several tests and some medicine that helped me feel better right away. They gave me delicious food that helped me regain my strength. They took excellent care of me, and today they decided I was healthy enough to be released back into the ocean. There was even a crowd of volunteers that cheered as I swam away." Reada was feeling healthy and confident. She looked at her new home and her friends and proclaimed with admiration, "I am delighted and humbled to be here today, and I want to thank you all for rescuing me. You, Holt, for finding me, and Professor Clark and Ray for finding Andrew. And Andrew, you truly saved my life." Andrew looked at all of them, and although he couldn't understand their animal language, he knew that they were feeling joy in their hearts. Reada had found a new home on Holt Reef with great new friends who would be her friends forever. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this Future Scientist Storytime, please go ahead and give us a like on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, make sure you stay tuned to our social media channels for more virtual science videos and details on the reopening of the Science Center. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again next time. Bye!
Hey guys, just want to thank you guys for watching our content. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you hit that like button down below. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe. That way you're up to date on all the really cool science experiments that we're going to be bringing your way. Now, if you haven't heard, we have some really big announcements. Our doors are partially reopened. We have some really cool exhibits that you guys can check out, bring in your families, bring in your kids, and enjoy some of the things about the Science Center that you've come to love. Now, we are taking some very special safety precautions, so please make sure you check our website for the latest updates on that. We thank you for sticking with us throughout this entire endeavor and helping us continue our mission to open every mind to science.